3, 2, 1. We're back! The man behind the mask! And we're out of control. What's going on out there, fucking people? Welcome to Post Wrestling Podcast, your favorite fucking podcast. I'm Drummer John here with the brothers of discussion, Will and Grayson. What's up, fellas? How the fuck you doing?
Pretty good.
Quite well. How are you?
Oh, come on. You got to give me some heat, man. Goddamn, I missed you guys last week, man. There was so much to talk about last week.
I know.
But Will had his anniversary. Happy anniversary, my friend.
Thank
Some things are more important than talking about wrestling in life. That's definitely one of them. Got to keep the old lady happy, so that way she lets you keep doing this till 1 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Sometimes, yeah.
Trust me, I know all about it. I'm right there. But man, oh man, where to start? So much shit going on. Where do you guys want to take it first, boys? You want to go the AEW route, which is probably the biggest stories going on right now, or do you want to warm up to that shit?
You know what? It's been a while since we started with AEW. Let's just fucking dive right in. Fuck.
Dude, winter has come!
It did. Fuck. That was...
The winter's coming episode of fucking... Well, number one, it destroyed NXT in the ratings. Like, it was bad how bad it beat NXT in the ratings. It was a great fucking show.
It was one of the best I've seen. I watched it the next morning. I was pissed that all the high notes were spoiled by, classic AEW Instagram, Twitter, and every other fucking wrestling mark on the internet. But
I don't think it was me this time. I don't think I sent you any spoilers this time.
No, you didn't send me anything, but it was every other fucker on the planet.
Yeah. I had like all the big spots spoiled because of their fucking social media.
Yeah. But I mean, still yet, I was more than pleased. When I watched it, I still was like, oh my god, this is great.
Still marked out a little bit when you saw Sting?
No, I got misty.
Oh, I got misty with Pat Patterson. I got misty when they did his tribute on Friday and again on Monday. You bastards, catching my feels. We'll get to that later, though. Obviously, for me, the biggest news of the night was Sting being on TNT for the first time in 18 years.
18 seems off because they were bought out before 2002.
They said the last time he was on there was against fucking
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, and I want to say it was February of 2002.
I could have sworn that WCW was already like completely absorbed into WWE before 2002.
That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up because I could have sworn. But either way, yes, they did say first time in 18 years. And I was like, that is a while. But, welcome home, buddy. Been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Or Motel 6.
We had it's funny, I was telling you guys earlier, there's a meme out there where they show a picture of Goldberg, and it's like AEW fans, WWE sucks because they're using old talent, they're bringing back old talent, 49-year-old Goldberg winning the belt, and then underneath it is a picture of Sting, same AEW fans, yay AEW for bringing back Sting. I find it funny.
Looks like 2001. I believe. That's what I'm seeing here.
If that's the case, then they're embellishing for whatever fucking reason. I don't fucking know.
But I'll double check still yet.
If it's 2001, that's 19 years. They're off by one. They're giving him an extra year of his life back.
He needs it.
Cold,
the card for that edition, we had that Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, which we saw Orange Cassidy and MJF being the final two competitors in there, and that's how they worked that. The final two competitors are now going to battle one-on-one for the diamond ring. So
yeah, I was very confused whenever the match just sort of ended with both of them still in it. But I didn't pay attention to the rules, so
I wasn't sure of the rules, and then I remembered like right at the end. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. It's the last two standing set the match.
Yep.
And it happened to be the the holder of the ring, and then the challenger for the ring. So it kind of knocked out the middleman. So it goes straight in for the challenge for the ring. And I feel like they're going to give it to Cassidy. I do.
Well, they're definitely laying the groundwork for the Sammy Guevara MJF feud in there. They were working together for a minute, but then MJF was the reason that Sammy G got eliminated. We might see the Sammy Guevara face turn this week with the whole Inner Circle ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that one's going to play out. Because if Sammy goes face, he's got to bring back the Panda Head.
Oh God, I fucking hope not.
You know he's gonna, because all the kids love the Panda Head.
The Panda Head was fucking stupid. It made no damn sense.
That's his gimmick. He's a Mexican man who likes pandas.
I mean,
and he's a king.
Fair enough, but.
And then we had Britt Baker versus Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch is a little beast. And they didn't want to make her look weak. So, like, as soon as the match was over, enter Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
To get some revenge on Britt. So that way it kind of made you not think about the fact that she lost, because you were all excited to see,
Rosa.
Thunder Rosa in there.
Hirsch coming in to, help out Rosa too.
Yeah. So I mean, it was. They're up on their game when it comes to not making wrestlers look weak, in that regard. So I mean, kudos for that shit. The way they did that was really good. And again, that 4'11" chick is going to be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That girl can wrestle.
I mean, she already looks good in the ring. I mean, that amateur style is translating well, but she already looks like she knows how to work, which is one thing that she's got on a bunch of other talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember seeing, like, one of her first matches, like, what was early this year, maybe beginning of the pandemic, when they were doing that, when they pre-filmed that 6 weeks worth of show. That's, kind of when I remember seeing her first. I was like, damn, she's good in the ring. And
I think the first time I remember seeing her was against Serena Deeb, or one match before that.
Something like that. It's been a little while. It was definitely back in the spring or over the summer one that I saw her.
I don't think it was that.
It was a good while back, because it's long enough for me to be like, oh shit, how long has it been since the last time she wrestled that I saw? Because I'm sure she's been on Dark, but I haven't watched fucking Dark in I don't know how long. But
the Dark shows have been so long lately.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 hours. The last 2 weeks have been 2.5 hours. They do a new segment in there called The Waiting Room with Dr. Britt Baker, which is pretty fun.
So she's got a Piper's Pit, does she?
Basically, and Rebel is her, or Reba, or whatever you want to call her, is her like guest host or sidekick or whatever in the show. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty funny. They had who was it? The Acclaimed were in there, and the one guy was rapping his stuff, and somebody said to him, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said to him, "Didn't somebody do this gimmick already?" I'm like, fucking John Cena.
That wasn't that when they were rapping to like the Young Bucks or someone on Dynamite?
Maybe, or another tag team.
Yeah. Because when I heard him rap, I was like, God, this is lame as shit.
Yeah,
I was. I thought it sucked. I was like, oh no, don't do that shit. That fucking sucks. Don't.
Who rapped again?
One of the members of the Acclaimed, another new tag.
Yeah. That was terrible. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the Max Caster guy, it's the other one.
Uh-huh.
Because the Max Caster guy was the guy who took QT Marshall's place in the match against AOP that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
QT Marshall refused to fight. But regardless, I mean, they're getting over on Dark. That team is winning on Dark, you know, but that's about it over there.
I mean, Dark is definitely doing its job, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's bringing up talent. Mm-hmm. It's getting people over that they want to get over.
Yeah, and you bringing up the QT Marshall thing about him not wanting to work with AOP because they were too fucking green, and it was most likely he was going to get hurt, and turns out that match they fucking hurt the people they worked with. He also was talking about how it's like he bought an entire promotion that he used to work for. So he owns a micro territory already. Oh, yeah. QT Marshall does. That he folded into the training center that he owns with fucking Glacier. And they have been rebuilding that with their own money to make it look just like Dynamite when they held it there.
Yep.
So he's in the processes of actually legit making it look like a Dynamite feeder if they want to work for it as that. If not, it's become his own little promotion that they can kind of cross-share talent with.
The thing that pisses me off the most about that is its location. It's located in Norcross, Georgia. My job prior to this job, I was based out of Norcross, Georgia. I used to go there 4 to 5 times a year. So, goddamn, the timing was just fucking off.
I know, right?
Norcross is not that big. I'd have been able to find it pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the few good things in Georgia. Georgia fucking sucks.
What else do we have? We have Jericho versus freaking Kazarian.
That was a solid match. It was.
Yeah, it was. Once again, Jericho can make any. Not that Frankie Kazarian needed help looking good.
Kazarian makes people look good, and Jericho makes people look good. You put two people that are good at making others look good, and it's going to be a great-looking match.
Exactly. That's exactly what we had. It just looked all around.
But Kazarian, I will say this, Kazarian made Jericho look out of shape as fuck.
Yeah, because Kazarian's definitely in good shape. He's probably in the best shape of his career.
Yeah, no doubt. But still, damn good match. Good trade-offs, a lot of great spots. I mean, hell, we saw Lion Salt. Everything was good.
Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. What's going on with Brian Cage? Because we haven't seen him in a couple weeks, and we've been seeing the FTW title without him.
I don't know. I've been thinking that too. And the thing is, when they announced for them to come out at the beginning, it was Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, accompanied by Taz and Brian Cage, but only Taz came out. Brian Cage didn't come out until the tussle at the end.
Yeah, it's got me wondering about that. You know, what is his status? Is he injured? Like, something's going on there.
Possibly that, or it could be some just. I couldn't say. It could be just some backstage business. Maybe that right there, he could have arrived at the arena late. Who knows?
But it almost seems like they're positioning the FTW belt without him, because when Taz came out with Cody the week before, and they got into it when he choked out Cody, he's holding the belt, and he's not talking about the champion Brian Cage and recognizing him as the champion. It was recognizing the belt, And then we saw Powerhouse Hobbs holding the belt. We saw Hook holding the belt. It's like, who the fuck is the FTW champion?
It could be a matter of something that'll come up later. It could be if Taz is pushing for that belt to be legitimized, maybe he's gone ahead and worked something out where he's taken it from Cage to put it up as a legitimate title. So that way they would have some sort of,
tournament or match or
for it. Yeah. And, he's already grooming Hobbs to be a possible contender for it alongside Cage, so that way he can stack the deck for Team Taz if they do it.
That's definitely what it seems like. I'm liking Powerhouse Hobbs as a heel.
I am too. I am.
I like him better as a heel than I did as a face, because as a face, all he had was a neat story, a heartwarming story about his brother being killed, and he had willpower. But now he's his fucking face, dude. He has the face of a heel, that sneer that he does.
Oh, that sneer is mean looking.
It didn't work as a fucking face, but it works as a fucking heel.
Yeah. The only gripe that I have, and it's probably just boils down to him being kind of green, is he went to the same gestures every time when he was mocking him in the corner. The middle finger, and then the classic, elbow and the crook pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, cool. You've done that 4 fucking times now. We need a new one. Figure something else out. But still yet, impressive as shit. He looks good in the ring. He looks strong all the time. But you can still tell he's a bit green. But he's looking better, and they've got him teamed up with a partner that does make him look good, and it's a nice kind of counterpoint to his size. So that way, if they think the match is going too slow because of Hobbs, swap in Starks, the pace will pick back up, and then boom, Hobbs is back in. You got another palate cleanser and bring the pace back down a little bit. On a side note, I believe that's pretty much decided what I'll use that random Big E figure I have sitting around to make is probably a Hobbs custom.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I got an old Big E figure, and I was just like, I saw Hobbs, and then I randomly thought of that Big E figure, and I was like, that'll do. But you're right. The FTW thing is kind of got some sneaky secret business happening that we're not sure about. They're playing it close to their chest. Who knows? But speaking of playing things really close to the chest, what's this rumor about Brody Lee we hearing?
So Brody Lee has been off TV for several weeks now. We haven't seen anything about him, and nobody is talking about him. None of the dirt sheets, nobody.
I haven't even heard the Dark Order mention the Exalted One.
Exactly. So there's rumors that he's injured, and they're not talking about the extent of the injury. There's rumors that he might already be fired from AEW. So no idea what's going on there. I can't find anything at my normal dirt sheets. Like, I'm not getting anything.
Yeah,
I don't think he's fired. I think he's still just injured, and they're kind of building up. They needed someone to sort of be a face for the Dark Order, and they're just giving it to John Silver.
Could definitely be.
Because now it's literally John Silver, and Anna Jay are like the focal points. So we already...
Not even Colt Cabana anymore.
No.
I mean, he's still showing up, but I think Colt Cabana's story is more tied with Brody Lee than the current angle, so I don't think they're going to do a whole lot with that.
Yeah.
And then we have the main event, Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. No. Before that, fucking Hikaru Shida. Oh no, that was the week before where Abaddon came back.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I know I missed it, but I heard Abaddon came back and they're playing that whole scared Shida angle.
Yep.
I'm just like, oh man, are they planning to fucking give that belt to Abaddon?
I fucking hope so, man. That is a hometown girl gone good, man. You know, she was her first appearance was at AEW in Denver that I went to. She's a Denver wrestler out of Rocky Mountain Pro, and she's good. You know, she got injured with Tay Conti. She took an elbow to the throat and couldn't breathe. They never aired that match, and that's why she's been off TV. But now she's back. And yeah, she's coming for that fucking belt, man.
Yeah, I can see her getting the belt. I just don't know how well it would go over to give someone so new to the promotion the belt. But I wouldn't be against it, really.
I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be... And what the hell would they do with Nyla Rose, though? Like...
Nyla and Abaddon could be a pretty good match.
I don't see them doing that. Heel versus heel.
I'm just saying, in general, a good match. I'm not saying they would do something like that in terms of proper storytelling. But in terms of just giving, a contender like a one-off shot, why not? But at the same time, if you keep putting Nyla down with all these other people, it's going to kind of kill her power.
Mystique, her power, exactly. I forgot to mention, and I just got ahead of myself, but at the end of the Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin match, we saw the return of Sting. That's when he came out, made his presence known, and then left. He's supposed to talk tomorrow more about what he's going to do with the promotion, I guess. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of rumors that he's going to wrestle. Tony Khan is saying he's going to wrestle. I don't know. With the neck being in the shape that it is, and him being 61 years old.
I mean, the question is how...
I'd hate to see the man get hurt.
Yeah, but the question is, how bad could the neck still be after... How long ago was that? Like 6 years ago?
4 years? 4 or 5 years?
Well, from what I read was he's good. It's just WWE didn't want to use him.
Yeah.
But now how true that is, I don't know. I can't speak on that. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah. It's possible. I mean, he was definitely disappointed with his run in WWE. He wasn't happy with the way it went. He's been very vocal about that. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what this week has in store. Is it going to be something against Team Taz? Is it going to be, I don't even know about Lance Archer anymore, because is Lance Archer even a fucking bad guy anymore? Because he's teaming up with Lucha Bros tomorrow to take on fuckface Kingston and the Butcher and the Blade.
My question is, why is he teaming up with the Lucha Brothers, and why aren't they using Pac?
I don't know. I wonder if he went home and couldn't make it back, or I don't know. But they started playing this last week or the week before when he came out and made the save. And then last week at the end of Winter's Coming, you hear Eddie Kingston yelling in the background. And the reason for that was because Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston was supposed to take place last week. It was supposed to be the match. If the main event went too short, they were going to have that match. So that's why he was over by the broadcast booth bitching, pissing, and moaning that he wanted Lance Archer.
Yeah.
So that's where that story. I don't know where they're going with that. It's confusing.
It is, but I think there's some good possibilities of things to come from that. Now, is it giving me mixed messages in regards to Lance Archer? For sure. But at the same time, I still consider Death Triangle a heel faction.
They're more anti-heel, if anything.
Or anti-hero. They're not face, they're not heel, I guess you could say.
But they're well liked.
Yeah. They're basically like Roddy Piper was. Yeah.
Yep. We saw the world title change hands Kenny Omega, spoiler alert for anybody who's been under a fucking rock for the last week, Kenny Omega is now the AEW World Heavyweight Champion with the help of Don Callis from Impact Wrestling.
I know that is, like, at first, anyone that's listening to the show knows that I fucking called this shit a while back. When Don Callis first came on to do one of those Kenny match calls, I was just like, no one gets a VP from another company to just come in as a buddy, call a match. There's some fucking hobnobbing and fucking palm greasing going on behind the scenes. And sure enough, I was right. Now, at the moment, it seems it's going to be short term, but that short term could easily escalate long term depending on how good the monetary returns are.
Yep.
So as of right now,
and who's going to get the most out of it? Because honestly, I don't see AEW getting as much out of the deal as Impact will. I think Impact would get more out of it.
I think it's going to be equal, personally. Impact has the most to gain from it, but I think, honestly, it's almost going to be equal draw. Because if you have any Impact talent that you've wanted to see go up against some AEW talent before, you're going to tune in to one or the other. Like, we all know, and it's already one of the rumored matches, we want to see the Good Brothers go up against somebody, and it seems like they're going up against the Bucks. So old Bullet Club tag teams going against one another. I'm fucking bored.
They teased, the Young Bucks teased the whole Impact thing last week also, because they put a picture up on their Twitter of them as Generation Me. Yeah. And then last week on Impact, the Impact match of the week, where they play a match from previous years, was the Motor City Machine Guns versus Generation Me. So, again, their social media game is on point. It's extending to their TV time. It's all calculated, no doubt about it. They are working us to fucking death and just making us clamor for more.
Yeah, it's going to be really good, and what's probably going to happen, they're going to send some bigger names over to Impact to work, for sure. Now, are they going to do any sort of title business over there? Not a chance in hell. It's not going to happen.
Well. Tonight on Impact, we saw at the end of Winter's Coming, Don Callis said that Kenny Omega will be on Impact this week.
Yeah.
He was. So in that segment, you saw Don Callis and Kenny Omega on a tour bus. Josh Matthews came in to interview him. They were changing out the nameplates. John Moxley's nameplate for Kenny Omega. And Kenny was talking, they talked about him winning the IWGP championship. Kenny Omega mentions that he likes to collect belts. As a kid, he used to collect comic books. Now, as an adult, he likes to collect belts.
Yeah.
So we may see some title matches.
If that's the case, then it's going to go more long term. It's not going to be short term. If they're going to tease Kenny being a belt collector, it's going to go more long term. Now, are we going to see something to the extent of Ultimo Dragon in the 90s in WCW? Probably not. But if that's the case, it's going to be a longer partnership than what's being rumored as of right now. Because you've definitely got to work it for a few months to a year at least to really get a good
I wanted you to be right about the who knocked Kenny out with the briefcase.
Oh, I know. I mean, don't get me wrong. We probably still could get lucky. It still could be a crossover with New Japan and Kenta still being the secret attacker. I mean, fuck, if he popped up on Dynamite tomorrow night and said, "You thought it was that fucker Omega, it was me, bitch," or something like that, I don't know. It'd be amazing. I'd lose my shit.
Yeah, I would mark out big time on that.
Because, I mean, now that Moxley is not tied to the AEW world title, that means his only belt claim is the U.S. title. And that defense coming up in fucking January at Wrestle Kingdom. So since he now is no longer tied to AEW with the belt, that means Tony Khan can be like, yeah, go ahead. Go fucking work in Japan. You don't have to defend your belt here.
Well, he needs to get it out of the way soon because him and Renee are expecting a little girl. They had the gender reveal party last week, and the cake was pink. They're expecting a little girl.
Yep. So I mean, that right there,
shit out while he can.
There's another good, pretty much tie-in right there. So not Kenny, but fucking Mox has, a reason. Is that a guarantee that the title's probably going to change hands? Yes. I would say at Wrestle Kingdom, Kenta is going to come out with that belt. Now, I'm still surprised that Kenta has the briefcase. Maybe they suspended challenges for the briefcase because he took an L to Brody King in New Japan Strong last week. So he's wrestling stateside again. A lot of them are because they're not currently in one of the tournaments. But
with that regard, though, it also made me wonder, would they do a pre-recorded match in New Japan for that U.S. title on U.S. soil? Does Mox and Kenta happen in the next 2 weeks, and it's pre-recorded, and they air it during Wrestle Kingdom, and that way Mox doesn't have to leave the country?
That's a possibility, but at the same time, other than the extenuating circumstances of COVID itself, because if Mox is going to wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom, he's going to have to be there, he's going to have to arrive in Japan pretty much next Tuesday. Yep. Give or take a little bit. So that way he can go through the 2-week quarantine period.
Yep. And I don't see that happening, which is why I'm thinking they wrestle stateside, they record it.
But here's the thing about that. Other than the fact that they recently started a U.S. side of the promotion, Japan's still all about tradition. And Wrestle Kingdom happens at the Tokyo Dome, and only the Tokyo Dome, every year. So, a pre-recorded match
can change, and we are in different times now with COVID and everything else that's going on.
I know that's the only thing, but old habits die hard, so we will see. But it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
I'm sticking with the pre-recording. They're going to record that match within the next 2 to 3 weeks, so that way Mox doesn't have to leave his pregnant wife on Christmas and New Year's and all that shit. I think they pre-record it and he drops the belt.
Could very well be. Other than just AEW being off the fucking charts the past week, what else we got going on?
I think that's it for AEW news. I don't have too much else. Did I mention anything in the pregame?
Nothing I can think of. We hit pretty much all the high notes. I mean, we talked about Kenny. Oh, Kenny, has he officially turned heel?
I would say that yes. But is it official? I don't know. It definitely seems like it. Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal will be on AEW Dynamite this week.
Don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
Well, apparently they were trying to do something with the Big Show and Shaquille O'Neal in WWE, but Vince McMahon was always against it because he said that Shaq was too out of shape. Mm-hmm. So now AEW is picking it up.
It's probably another one of those Vince reasons. Like, no, I don't want it. I'm going to have to put a shirt on him.
Like Keith Lee. Keith Lee talked openly about that, and he said, "You know what? It's those people making the decisions that cut my check are the ones doing it, but they will see in time that my body isn't what makes me, and I'll be shirtless again," is what he said. Basically, he did it very tactfully, and very politically, so as not to ruffle any feathers and give the due respect to WWE management. But he basically said, shit's coming off.
Fair enough. Get him, Keith. Get him. All right. So, well, since we already made that healthy and very organic transition over, let's continue talking about WWE. And where do we want to start with things? I guess. Well, actually, let's start with this. Even though we ourselves relate to the party, R.I.P. Pat Patterson.
Yes, very much so.
The first IC champion.
First openly gay wrestler of his era. The man rocked at karaoke. Everyone's got good stories to tell about him. There was some dark cloud from his past that shadowed for a little bit, but all in all, the guy brought a lot to this business. Was revered by his peers and will be tragically missed. Mm-hmm. Reading some of the stuff that happened later in life with him since he's been gone from WWE, he was undergoing, he was in the early stages of dementia. He had cancer. He was in assisted living. For those of you who don't know, I lost my father 2 years ago to cancer and dementia. So it hit home, when they did the tribute to him on Friday Night SmackDown, and then again on the same exact tribute on Monday night. I cried both times. It hit me hard.
As rightly it should, especially with such similar circumstances.
Yeah.
As with any time there's loss, there's also a gain, and apparently Rollins and Lynch are having a baby girl.
Yes, they had her.
Had her. Yes, that's right.
Yes, her name is Rue, R-O-U-X. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to the happy couple and their firstborn daughter. She's apparently very healthy and happy. They haven't released any pictures of her. They just released a picture of their hands, Seth and Becky holding the baby's hand. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how long before we get a pic. I'll be sure to put it on the website for anybody overseas who doesn't get it.
It will probably not be long. Give it a week or two. Top end, first of the year. Just because some people are, I personally hate the shit out of newborn baby photos. Don't do that. But yeah, I'm sure since they're in the public spotlight, first of the year at the latest, most likely it'll be some cheesy Christmas post.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where they're going to go, because with Seth Rollins' storyline, he had that big storyline going on with Rey Mysterio, mm-hmm. and since he's out of the picture, they basically just wrote him off and put King Corbin in his place.
God damn it.
And then this week on SmackDown, we saw returns. King Corbin did not come alone this week. He had with him Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, formerly of the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah. So the name is apropos. But that's how they referred to them on SmackDown, formerly the Forgotten Sons. They're the hired guns now for Baron Corbin. And with regards to the Forgotten Sons, we did see the return of Jackson Riker, the third member of the Forgotten Sons, the one who sent out the now infamous tweet supporting President Trump, which wound up getting that team removed from TV for the last six months. I mean, they were in line to get the belts. They were going to put the belts on them within 30 days. That was going to happen, but because of the tweet, they were removed. So with Jackson Riker, from what I'm reading, they had him come out with Elias during main event last night. I was in the Thunderdome, and I saw it all as it unfolded. And from what I'm reading, it's like a trial for Vince McMahon to see how this character gets over. I'm assuming they're going to use him kind of like the Road Dogg, or more as a bouncer for a musical talent, like Road Dogg was to
Double J
Jeff Jarrett, or even how Billy Gunn was with him. maybe we'll see Jackson Riker in that regard, because he was all about walking with Elias. That motherfucker said walk with Elias, and I damn near jumped out of my seat. I was like, God damn, that's an angry motherfucker.
He said angry like did he?
He's angry because his ass been off TV for the last 6 months. and then R-Truth came out, and the whole 24/7 title ensued, and Riker wound up beating the crap out of a bunch of people. So, I mean, I hope it works out for him. I really do, because I liked him when he was in Impact. He wrestled under the name Gunner there. I like his look. I like the whole biker vibe. I was always have been a big fan of bikers, because I myself am one. You know, Aces and Eights, you know, the American Badass, you know, all that biker stuff. The DOA, fucking hey, you know, you want to get old school. I liked all that shit.
Fair enough. I honestly have no opinion of him because I've never watched him work. So
Who, Gunner?
Yeah.
Oh, I really liked him in TNA. I thought he was a badass.
Yep.
Never watched him.
And he's an actor. Do you ever see the movie Game Night?
Yep.
With Jason Bateman and Michael C. Hall?
Nope.
Okay,
It's
well,
pretty
he
funny.
was it's a funny movie.
Still pretty fair. It was pretty late in it, but it's a good movie. It's fun.
He plays the hired gun from Michael C. Hall's criminal character. The hired muscle.
That's it.
But I'm hoping Vince likes his work and they keep him around, because I thought the whole situation was unfortunate. I know you guys and Weatherman don't agree with me in that regard, but I think it was bullshit.
Well, I don't disagree in terms of, you know, him and, you know, the subject matter that he put. I just don't think his choice of wording was what was appropriate. That's the issue. I could really not give a shit who you support. It doesn't affect me one way, shape, or form. But when you're in the public eye and, you know, your presence on television, there has to be a tad more tact.
Decorum.
Yeah, with how you deliver your thoughts on the matter. Like, everyone up in arms about the vote, everyone up in arms about all this other stuff. I don't care. Shit's gonna get solved regardless. It's just, you know, your choice of words is what matters.
What happened to our First Amendment right? What happened to our First Amendment rights? Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech cost a man 6 months of his life and a title shot. You know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Is he in jail?
No.
Then his freedom of speech is perfectly fine and intact. Nothing is happening with his freedom of speech.
Let's look at it this way.
Your place of employment has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You can still say whatever the fuck you want, but they have the right to do whatever they want because it goes against what they're presenting as a company. That's nothing to do with your First Amendment right. That's not how that
totally
works.
Hypocritical, though. Linda McMahon is one of the biggest supporters of President Trump.
That is false. I mean, Vince
How is that
McMahon and
false?
his support.
No,
Vince
Vince
McMahon and his support is fact.
He's not talking about that one.
In them, that's fact. That's true, 100%. But your First Amendment right does not have any weight on if you get to keep your job because you say something stupid. That's all it is.
It's not. And, you know, technically, like, he didn't do anything that would have infringed on, like, the First Amendment right, because there was no slander nor libel involved. So those two things are things people think they can get away with under the First Amendment, which they cannot. Those are not protected. And he didn't use any of those. But much like anyone else that is under contract, they have to uphold the things. And if it was in his contract that he can't say certain things and they deemed that he crossed the line somewhere, they are able to do that. Because with my job, I can't say or do certain things. Technically, I can't even drink in public.
What the man did is he openly supported the president's call for military troops to stop the rioting in Portland.
And again, it goes to the manner in which he said it. There's no
I
problem.
support.
If he had just went online, okay, got on Twitter, and just wrote the words, "I support Trump's motions and actions concerning this, and this," nothing would have happened. It is the manner in which it was written and the words used is what the issue is. It is nothing about his support for Trump. It is the manner in which he did it. That's it. From a business standpoint, that's the issue. It is done in detriment of the company and makes the company look bad because of the way it was done, not the manner in which he is talking about.
The company has to look out for their bottom line. And regardless of the talent stuff, there's people in the company that could totally agree with that. The McMahons could totally agree with that. But all the other shareholders that there probably are, be it private or publicly shared, I'm not sure which it is, and other people inside the company that disagree with those sorts of things, they're going to protect the bottom line for all of the people that watch the program that don't agree with that by taking action to remove that in the only way that they can see it being done.
Please allow me to read the tweet in question from June 1st, 2020. Thankful for the President of the United States we have. God bless America. Built of freedom, forgotten no more. That's the entirety of the tweet that he was removed for TV for. That's it. He showed support.
I remember there was more.
I'm looking at it
like there was
looking
more.
at the article. WWE wrestlers call out Jackson Riker for using catchphrase to voice support of President Trump. Because
but then that would do it. You're using a company-owned product to do something. That would also be.
It said forgotten no more.
That would also actually be against your contract. That's a little much. If that is truly it, but I felt like there was more there. Yeah, I can agree. That's a little much.
And then because I'm looking at the tweet, because Kevin Owens was one of the first ones to respond to it. Also on June 1st, the freedom you speak of entitles you to speak your mind all you want. I'm not here to argue that. I just really need to tell you that I think you pushing your shitty wrestling catchphrase as all of this is happening is absolutely fucking pathetic. And then Ricochet says, I bet you're a bad guy on TV and I'm hoping that all this is. Even then, that ain't. But if this is actually your true thoughts, I'll be really sad. Mustafa Ali follows with, I'm thankful you posted this because I am now aware of what you stand for. When black brothers and sisters are crying, you praise someone that refuses to acknowledge their hurt. Sami Zayn, literally built on oppression. All of these tweets are in direct response to the one that I read to you. Thankful for the President of the United States we have. It's goddamn. And then, yeah. That's all he said, dude. That's all he said. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. If I'm gonna look into it some too, but if that truly is it, because I feel like I remember something differently. If that truly is it, I feel like that's pretty big. What thing was he making his response to? I know this is completely off topic.
It was the tear gassing. I was wrong about the Portland protesting. It had to do with the tear gassing of peaceful protesters outside of the White House. I guess that happened earlier that day. Mm-hmm. From what I'm saying here, what I'm reading here, this is from Sports Illustrated. A protest against police brutality spread around the world. And then about an hour after a group of peaceful protesters outside the White House were tear gassed to clear way for President Trump to pose for photos with a Bible in front of a church, Riker, real name Chad Lale, a Marine Corps veteran, tweeted that he was thankful for the president we have. So, yeah, it was an hour after that tear gassing incident.
What that is, that's more fucking timing. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. But You know what? Again, back to the topical point. I'm glad that Jackson Riker's back on TV. Being ex-military myself, I have that pride that he has. I thought, again, my personal opinion, I thought it was shitty for him to be removed from TV for something like that because of the pressure from other wrestlers who don't agree with him.
And as someone who disagrees with him pretty fully, I am also glad he is back because I just like Jackson Riker, and if that is what happened, it's a little extreme of a punishment. I kind of get it from a business sense, just because it's his character saying that, and they have complete control over his character and catchphrases. But that's a very big stretch to pull to do that. So I'm going to look more into it. But I am also glad he is back on TV because I like the look of Jackson, and I think he's a badass. Of course,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that because it was done from his Jackson Riker WWE account.
Okay.
I guarantee you, if that's the case, that's more why they did it. Because
in that regard, I will agree with that mindset because that is his character that is owned by the company. The company may not want to have, that
they
political...
want his character to be relatable to as many people as possible, so as soon as you put some sort of political stigma on it, you've now alienated a client base.
Well, his character is a heel, though. That's instant fucking heat, dude.
I know, but at the same time, WWE doesn't want that kind of heat. They like money more than they like storylines.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so he made that post, but he had also made posts in the past that were pulled up under his true Twitter account, which was a little more off-putting. Things that sort of chastised the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that. So, but the post that I'm seeing was a post that he put, I believe, almost a year before this. But it was something about Black Lives Matter. The Black Lives Matter garbage baffles me. And then, another couple sentences after that. So things like that started surfacing, I think, after he put that out. And that could also play a factor into it.
That would definitely play a huge part in
Yeah,
that.
because I remembered there were some other things, but it made a spark with his Jackson Riker post, and then that caused everyone who kind of took offense to that post to start digging through his wrestling and his personal Twitter history to pull up the dirt.
He gave him a reason to go dirt digging.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, okay.
All right, so the next pay-per-view we got, TLC.
That was like 20 minutes.
I know, right?
That was like 20 minutes.
Which is why I'm abruptly changing the stuff down.
Oh my god. Okay.
We got TLC coming up here on, what the hell day is it going to be at? December 20th.
Oh, my birthday.
Happy birthday. Right now we've got 5 matches booked for it. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles with Omos. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Oh, and Drew McIntyre and AJ is going to be a TLC match.
Oh.
We got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and Lana for the women's tag titles. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a TLC match, and then Sasha Banks versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Those are the only 5 matches that they've got booked so far.
Well, do we want to go ahead and throw out some predictions for them, or do we want to save that for next week when we might learn a little more?
I'm fine either way. I mean, the only title I see changing hands might be the women's tag titles, and I definitely see the Fiend beating Randy Orton. But I haven't seen anything to change my mind. I don't think they're going to belt Carmella, since she just came back.
Fucking
Yeah.
better not. Her new character's fucking stupid. Sorry, my language. Her new character kind of sucks.
Well, her. Okay, hold on. the Tony Khan fucking paid programming is on again because they do Impact Wrestling on a loop. They play it a second time. And I'm sorry, it's a good thing that motherfucker has money because I find him annoying as shit in this paid advertising. He's like, I could put an injunction in here. I could do this. And then, Tony Schiavone, you worked for this company. Yeah, one day, then I quit wrestling for 18 years. Like, it's a total fucking dig at Impact Wrestling. So, oh, man. He just came across as a dick to me.
I had no qualms with it. I mean, no qualms at
You
all.
guys decide for yourself. I posted a link to it on our Facebook page. That'll get you to it. Take a look. You guys be the judge. Is Tony Khan a fucking gimp without the suit, or are you okay with it?
Gimp without the suit. That means he likes punishment. I don't know if that what you're saying works.
He's punishing me with his shitty acting.
I don't think it's acting so much as just,
Douchebaggery.
maybe?
I'll take his money though.
I would take some of that money too. That con money spends like everyone else's money. There's just more of it.
Exactly. Tony Khan, if you buy Post to Post Wrestling, I will never say a bad thing about you again.
Never ever. Never
Put me
ever.
on payroll. I want, even if it's that top flight money, I'll take some of that top flight money.
I don't give a shit. Just give me some fucking free tickets to like everything, and yeah, and maybe some little, media packages.
My request is tickets, and anyone who's just there to be on camera, like green shirt guy, has to be in nosebleeds and never allowed to buy front row.
Hey, I'm pink shirt guy.
You don't count. You're on fucking Thunderdome. No one watches that.
Well, the Thunderdome will be moving this week to its new home at Tropicana Field. So that's going to be interesting to see how the new thing is set up. I'm going to sign up for SmackDown. I don't know if I've signed up for every SmackDown for the last 2 months, and I've never even attempted to go on it because I wind up driving. I make too much money on Friday nights to sit at home.
That makes sense.
But who knows? Maybe I'll try it. I'll definitely be in Raw again next week. I didn't have very good seats this week, but I was on screen a couple times. I was up above the announcers, 10 rows up behind the announcers. So not the best seats, but I was there a couple times.
Not the best, not the worst. They were just there.
Mm-hmm. I talked about it before the show. So the main event of Raw this week was Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. And so I'm in Thunderdome. I'm watching the main event. And Randy Orton goes for the pinfall on Bray Wyatt. And then the lights go out. And it was, dude, I'm not even kidding. It was like 2 seconds. And the lights come back up. And Randy Orton is laying on the Fiend. And I'm just thinking, no freaking way that they just did a quick change on us. There's no way that shit could have been done that quick. Because Bray Wyatt was wearing a sweater. He was wearing different pants. He had, he wasn't wearing the mask. I'm like, there's no way possible. So as it turns out, they did a little trickery on us. They actually recorded the ending prior to the show starting with Bray Wyatt dressed as the Fiend. So the match was live up until the point where Randy Orton pinned Bray Wyatt, and then they cut to the pre-recorded ending with the Fiend. So I'm just like, God damn! That's kind of cool. I'll give them credit for that, because they had me like, what the fuck?
You got work, son.
Mm-hmm. I did. I got. It's still real to me. Damn it.
I was waiting for it. Yes.
We're gonna get fucking sued for that one. That's pretty much all I got in the world of WWE. Not too much more happening.
Well, I mean, let's take a minute. Let's not even say call it WWE. let's take a minute to rehash War Games, because I believe we just kind of crossed over that real quick, because War Games apparently was the fucking tits. And
yeah, it was.
I missed it, but I definitely want to hear tell from those of you that had, so that way I can make the judgment call as to whether I want to go and watch it.
One
Want to watch?
Okay.
What's that?
From what I've read, because I haven't watched it either, I'm gonna go back.
I watched every minute of it.
I didn't even know it happened until afterwards.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't been talking too much about NXT during our broadcast, and that's shame on me, since I'm supposed to be the WWE guy, and I do watch NXT. But the card was awesome. The War Games matches. The first one was friggin' the women's War Game match that they had. They had Team Shotzi Blackheart, which was Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai taking on Team Candice LeRae, which had Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Toni Storm, who is now a bad guy. Toni Storm turned heel. And Io Shirai used to be a heel, but now she's face. But the biggest spot for me in that fucking match, holy shit. Io Shirai climbs to the top of the fucking War Games cage with a trash can. Puts the trash can over her head and jumps into the ring with it on her to take out all the freaking women. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that shit was awesome. We had some injuries during that match, or at least afterwards. Candice LeRae may have a broken arm. Io Shirai mildly injured, but I mean, these ladies left it all in the ring. It was awesome. I'm hoping that this is kind of a swan song for Rhea Ripley, that we will see her on the main roster soon. And I am in absolute love with Shotzi Blackheart. I would, yes, I love her. She's awesome. She came out with a new tank because her tank got run over. We saw some of the ghost face people that have been helping out the Garganos come out, and Indy Hartwell got involved in the match, and Team LeRae wound up winning that one with the help from Indy Hartwell. But all in all, as far as the women go, it was Raquel Gonzalez, who pinned the champion, Io Shirai, for the win. So this is also another storyline where Gonzalez might be stepping out of Dakota Kai's shadow and cementing herself as a contender for that belt. Because she's friggin', she's huge, man. She is a big chick. And definitely intimidating to look at. Finn Balor, he cut a promo that they filmed beforehand saying that all eyes are going to be back on him starting this week on NXT. So hopefully he's back from injury, because he had that, what the hell did he break? He had a broken jaw in 2 places. So hopefully he's done with that shit. Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher. This is a really good match, dude. Ciampa is fucking brutal. These guys beat the shit out of each other. And Ciampa came away with the win. A lot of false finishes in this match, a lot of spots, a lot of hard-hitting spots on here where it was just, again, beating the crap out of each other. And then we had Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and the newly engaged Leon Ruff for the North American title. And this match here, we saw some outside interference. There was a bunch of people dressed as ghost faces. There was like 7, 8, maybe 9 of them that came in. And since this is a no DQ match, triple threat, Damian Priest and Leon Ruff, they're fighting their asses off, and one of the ghost faces had a lead pipe and beat Damian Priest in the back with it. Johnny Gargano gets the pin. They're walking up the ramp. Ghostface takes off his mask, and it's Austin Theory. So Austin Theory is now helping out Johnny Gargano. Gargano is now a 3-time North American champion. And within hours of Austin Theory returning to TV. Video was released on the internet of him showing his dick. That guy can't cut a fucking break. 22, 23 years old, and he can't stay out of trouble. Have no idea what's going to happen with that. And Leon Ruff is engaged to one of the referees at NXT, so that's kind of weird. Before that match, we saw some lights flickering. We saw some doomsday imagery, and then we heard a voice saying "tick-tock," carrying crosses on his way back.
Oh boy!
So hopefully we're gonna see him reclaim his fucking belt that he never fucking lost from Finn Balor. They better put the belt back on him, dude. That dude's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of awesome, Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Lumis in a strap match. So at Halloween
I haven't
Havoc,
seen a strap match in a while.
At Halloween Havoc, they had a match, and there was like a zombie referee included in the match and shit like that. So with the storyline they keep having, it's like Cameron Grimes can't look at Dexter Lumis's eyes because he's got that just piercing fucking gaze that really creeps him out. So it's all that psychological fear stuff that we were talking about earlier with Abaddon is kind of going on here with Cameron Grimes. He keeps trying to run away, and he brought out a friggin' a bag that he put over Loomis's face to cover his eyes, and he kept using a strap to cover his eyes and running away from the zombie referee and stuff. Loomis winds up getting the win in that match. I love that dude. Dexter Lumis, I think, is a fucking star who doesn't have to say anything. His fucking gaze, his look is just wildly fucking intimidating. And the guy's fucking huge. He's jacked. His one arm is like totally blacked out and stuff. He's just gnarly, dude. I've been saying for a long time they need to push that dude, and finally they're doing something with him again. He's been, tops in NXT, top storylines for a while now, since literally the week after I said they should push that dude. And then the last match was Undisputed Era versus Team McAfee, Grayson's favorite wrestler, Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne. Ooh, Pete Dunne looks fucking amazing, dude. COVID, the time away.
Fucking mean looking as shit now. Dude has gotten, like, compared to the way he was before, he is fucking stacked looking now.
Mm-hmm. The way that he carried himself before, like when he won the belt, he looked short. I don't know how else to describe how he looked to me. He looked short.
I think it's because like he's broadened out in the shoulders and the chest is what it is. So that makes him look like he's taller. Like he's opened up.
And he's opened up wider and smaller in the midsection. So he looks lankier, he looks taller, he looks bigger. Great shape. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch also in that match. They kept teasing Pat McAfee going into the match like he was going to start it, and then no, Pete Dunne's like, I got it, and he starts off the match.
I saw the clip of this one. That fucking drop on the chair that Dunne did.
Yeah, he did the X-Plex onto the chair onto Adam Cole, I think it was.
I think so, yeah.
Damn, that was brutal.
I watched that replay so many times trying to see the point where they tried to pad it for one another, and I couldn't see it because Cole's feet were still off the ground when he hit the top of the chair. Yeah,
Cole is only right about 6 feet. So I mean, he wouldn't have been able to touch. So I mean, he took that flush. He took that chair right to the middle. I mean, that shit was gnarly. Pat McAfee does a swanton off of the top of the cage onto the other wrestlers. And they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't catch him good enough. Because that dude's legs hit the mat and you heard it. Bam! Just smacked. And, but I mean, again, that dude is, Grayson, sing his fucking praises for us.
Yeah, man. I've said it. I talked mad shit at the beginning when the Adam Cole and Pat McAfee feud kind of started when they announced it. I talked a lot of shit. I said, this is fucking terrible. This is stupid. Why the hell is this motherfucker joining? I eat my words. That dude is just... Yeah. Dude, I'm speechless. I've seen some clips of that match. The swanton off the cage was sick as shit. I take it back. I am not upset. They have finally found a celebrity or another person from another, past to come in and do it right and do it stupid good. And they've only done, 2 matches?
I think this is his third.
Third?
Maybe.
Three matches, everyone, has technically been a barn burner. It's a curveball I was looking for. I was looking for a fastball, they do a curve. It's outrageous. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. If this is the output that I'm getting from him, keep it coming. I'm fine with it. I don't care anymore. I eat my words, take it back. Every single bad thing I ever said. Dude is in it for real and not just getting a cash grab. Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. What I've seen, because I wanted to look up some stuff on McAfee myself. Apparently, before the NFL draft in 2009, he was involved in a pro wrestling match against the War Pig in an IWA East Coast show in Charleston, West Virginia. And he won. 9 years later, in 2018, he was president of an NXT show where he prevented Adam Cole from winning against Aleister Black. He interfered and Black was able to hit the Black Mass on Cole to secure that win. And from what I was reading also is he signed a contract with WWE in 2019. So apparently, he's been kind of under the radar coming up for a while. I mean, he's been working as an analyst, but still yet.
The guy can work.
The guy can work. And I'm
the
all
guy can
for
work.
it.
I was mentioning earlier, there was, I want to say it was Goldust who said this. But
Dustin Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes made a comment to the effect of the entire NXT locker room should be ashamed of themselves because a football player is cutting better promos than every one of them. Because the guy can talk, too. He can get legit heat. He makes you want to fucking hate him with how arrogant he can be on the mic and the shit that he talks on the mic. And it's beautiful. God, I hope he's going to be around for a while because I'm enjoying his work. They need to name this friggin' group. I thought for a minute they were calling them the Kings of Wrestling, but I haven't seen that anymore. But now they're just calling them Team McAfee. I don't like that.
No. I want them to combine something with him and Pete Dunne and say the big names.
Well, they got... He always wears his brand of clothing, which is like for the brand. He's always got that going on. So, maybe incorporate that into something.
The
for
Bruiser
the brand.
brand.
The Bruiser brand or something like that. And then, because they called Oney Larkin and Danny Burch, their tag team is called the Brit Am Brawlers. So you got Brawlers, you got Bruisers, you got Brand. Maybe incorporate all that shit into something.
3B.
Big Baller Brand already has that taken. And that dude will sue. So.
Yeah.
Not if you bought some sneakers.
Definitely for anybody who hasn't watched War Games, definitely check it out. It is so worth checking out. But yeah, What do we got next? What's next for us?
Next, honestly, unless there's been some developments in the Impact and Ring of Honor range, all we got left really is just a quick recap of New Japan, man. Because, I mean, our biggest things, really, the biggest stuff we needed to talk about was basically all the shit happening with Dynamite and the Impact crossover through AEW, and then, you know, this WWE news. There hasn't been much else. Dynamite was the standout, you know, program of the week, followed by, well, War Games, and then everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's hard not to top it. New Japan's basically just going to run down as a quick recap because they're, you know, outside of just some storyline business happening, they've still been running heavy with the World Tag League and Super Juniors crossover tourney, leading up to the finals, which take place on the 11th, and then on the 12th, if memory serves, that is when Super J Cup begins, and my boy ELP returns. So I get to see El Phantasmo wrestle again. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, let's jump in. I myself have not had time to watch anything because, again, busy. This is the move, the office area where I'm recording now. I've got a much better setup than before, but I'm still not fully unpacked or unpacked in here either, and we're still getting things done, but enough to get this show going again.
That douche nozzle Leo Rush is going to be in the Super J Cup.
Yep, I saw. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop over here. We'll hit World Tag League first, and then we'll jump over to talking about some of the other business. So, World Tag League and Best of Super Juniors, like I was saying before, haven't gotten a chance to really watch a lot of it since the earlier weeks because of the move. But as of right now, after the next to last night of competition, the standings are as such. We are looking at, in Best of Super Juniors, here are the scores. Number 1 seed and number 2 seeds are Hiromu Takahashi and El Desperado, each with 14 points. And also tied with them is Taiji Ishimori, also with 14 points, but he lost the tiebreaker, so he is not in the final match. It's going to be Hiromu versus Desperado. Sho finished with 12, Master Wato finished with 8, Bushi finished with 8, Robbie Eagles finished with 8, Taguchi finished with 8, Doki finished with 4 points, and the young lion, Yuya Uemura, finished with 0, which we expected. He's a young lion. He's never going to win. In terms of World Tag League, the GOD is in the top seed.
Nice.
Followed by Finjuice, who won the tiebreaker over ZSJ and Taichi. All 3 of those teams are tied with 12 points. The number 4 seed was Toru Yano and Ishii with 10 points.
Fuck you, Yano.
Sanada and Takagi had 10 points. Yoshihashi and Goto had 10 points. Cobb and Great Khan had 10 points. Evil and Yujiro, 6 points. Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens, 6 points. And Tohinare and Tanahashi had 1 win in the entire tournament, so they had 2 points.
But at least it wasn't a skunk.
Yeah, at least they didn't get skunked. They're not young lions, so I guess that's why. But that still surprises me that that Great Khan and Jeff Cobb are like in 7th. Maybe it's because Okan's still so new. He doesn't have the pedigree to really run high for tag championships yet. But I'm surprised he's still not like middle of the pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have figured that they would have at least like set him like dead in the middle. But I mean, he is tied with 10 for with 4 other teams, so not bad. But at the same time, I would have assumed they would have done a little bit more for him. And Jeff Cobb as well, making that heel turn during this tournament, which I was very, very surprised about. So, leading in, we were talking about the finals, which happened on the 11th. So, the card for the finals. You've got some lead-up matches, of course, the classic tags. You've got Chaos, Robbie Eagles, Sho, and Toru Yano going up against Bullet Club. Taiji Ishimori, Chase Owens, and Bad Luck Fale. Then you've got Toa Hinare, Tanahashi, and Okada versus the Empire, Jeff Cobb, Great-O-Khan, and Will Ospreay. I have a feeling the Empire is going to win that because Hinare is on the other team, and he will take the pin. Next, you've got LIJ versus Bullet Club. So Shingo and Sonata versus the Tokyo Pimp and Evil. It seems like I feel like that's almost going to be Bullet Club's mid-card tag team from here on out. What about
I
you?
believe it.
Yeah. Just because it just seems like that's where they're falling. They're now a mid-card tag team. Next, you've got Master Wato and Kota Ibushi versus Bushi and Tetsuya Naito. So a nice little semi-preview or just follow-up match to all of the throwdowns that Ibushi and Naito had recently, and the fact that Ibushi is not going up for that double gold at Wrestle Kingdom since he lost that briefcase to Jay White. And then the Tag League Finals. You've got Finjuice versus the G.O.D. Who's going to take it?
G.O.D.
G.O.D. all day.
I'm going to take G.O.D. as well. If they don't get those belts back for like the 900th time, I'll be a sad camper. I will indeed. Then we've got the Super Junior 27 final. El Desperado versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Desperado.
Ooh, John going Desperado? You going Desperado?
No, I'm not.
Over Time Bomb?
I'm not. No, I'm going Time Bomb.
Going Time Bomb? Grayson?
Hi, Bob.
Time Bomb?
I like Desperado, though.
I do too. I like him a lot, and I like what he's been doing. They've been kind of giving him a push. I'm going to take Desperado. Just I'm gonna gamble on this one because the way they were pushed during this whole thing, it was pretty even.
I think they could. I think they could just because Hiromu's kind of came back.
Yeah.
Like already he had that moment, so now it's kind of like okay, back to how it should be in a way.
Now the only thing that kind of works against my picking like that is the fact that earlier in the tournament they already met, and Desperado got the win through nefarious means.
Could happen again.
It could definitely happen again. It wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility. But as of right now, that's kind of the situation. I'm still going to pick Desperado. Most likely, you two will probably be correct, but I'm still going to go with it. So this Saturday, though, Super J Cup begins right off the heels of the end of Super Juniors and World Tag League comes Super J Cup. Super J Cup has some international flavor. You've got some young lions like Clark Connors from the LA Dojo. He's going to be going up against Chris Bay. Excuse me.
Chris Bay.
Yeah, Chris Bay and Clark Connors going up against each other. Then you've got ACH versus TJP, so the battle of the acronyms.
Fuck ACH.
I'm going to take New Japan ACH as a totally different person than WWE ACH.
Man, fuck him.
New Japan ACH is way better than WWE ACH.
Which is why I'm going with TJP.
Yeah, I'll go.
Well, New Japan TJP is better than WWE TJP too. So
He's Impact TJP.
Huh?
He's Impact TJP.
Well, my comparison still stands. Because in WWE, he was mismanaged and kind of sucked. In New Japan, when he showed up there last year, he was fucking awesome. So I'm probably going to take TJP as well, because he's going strong, and I think he's going to get a bigger push in Japan right now than ACH, who's coming up fresh and has all that controversy and baggage following behind him. Next, you've got Ray Horace versus Blake Christian. This is all just round one. The next one, this is the big one. This is the big one. Even though it's not this is the big one. El Phantasmo versus Leo Rush. That's your main event night one.
Oh my fucking god. Phantasmo.
Phantasmo.
Forever.
Yep.
Phantasmo. Never show your face, Rush. Phantasmo. Phantasmo.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
I hate Leo Rush. Phantasmo.
Agreed.
Excellent. Then we got some matches against some round one winners coming up later on, followed by 20-minute time limit matches. You've got Young Lions, Ren Narita, and Carl Fredericks versus Hikuleo and Kenta.
Kenta. I like Carl Fredericks, though.
I do. Carl Fredericks is doing good work. But these are just kind of the rundowns that they got right now, the temp rundowns. They haven't done everything. So it's a split between like round one and round two and then the finals. So it's basically 3 rounds in this tournament. And I'm pretty stoked on it, mostly just because El Phantasmo's there. He won last year. I want to see him back to back because there's no one, other than the fact that New Japan may be hot on the idea of getting Leo Rush, there's no one in that whole tournament who I think holds a candle to El Phantasmo. No.
Phantasmo.
ELP.
Phantasmo.
I still want the Headbanger Club t-shirt. But fuck. It is still $30 on fucking Pro Wrestling Tees. Same.
Google a coupon code.
Their coupon codes suck. Hell, half the time, if you get one of their coupons, it's the equivalent of, we shaved off like $5 of shipping. That's what it boils down to. And I'm like, I'm still paying like $40 for this shirt, the way you guys charge shipping.
Let's just go to Chicago and get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the store. Give me that shirt. I'll give you $20. Shirt shouldn't cost more than $20-$25. I mean, come on. I don't care if they're made to order. I mean, goddamn, you're making them in bulk. It's granted. This is the only positive I'll give the fact that shirt's $30. It's still cheaper than buying it directly from New Japan. Because I will say that the most expensive wrestling merch website is the Tokon Global Shop.
Dude, oh my god. When I went to that New Japan show back in January, oh my god, the shirts were like $30-$40 at the shows.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. You want a DVD? $50. I don't want no fucking DVD. That shit better be 4K. 50
I better be a
bucks.
fucking Blu-ray in a DVD case.
Like, no. I didn't see really anyone buy any merch because everyone, like, I watched Faces. They go, oh, that looks cool. Oh.
Yeah, it's like...
Baby, don't look at that.
It's like fucking... It's like at the New Japan shows, you see people with so much fucking merch at their shows in Japan. And so I'm guessing, like, over there, it must be dirt cheap. But over here, those fucking bears that you see all over the crowd, they're $90 a piece.
God damn.
Yeah. The wrestler bears are nearly $100 each.
Wow.
And, like, the most affordable thing they have is are the mask covers. A Bullet Club mask cover is like $14.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a couple weeks. God, it's been 3 to 4 weeks since Grayson and I were on the show together.
It's been a minute.
It's been a couple. So, why don't you sign us off there, Grayson?
Oh, are we done? I was doing stuff. Okay, yeah, we're done. Okay, cool. So shout outs. First off, shout outs to all our lovely sponsors: Omaha Steaks, Blue Chew. Put some meat in your mouth and in your pants. Show your lady a good time. Squarespace. I don't know. It's a space with a square, and you take people's money. It's a win-win. Geometry and cash. Blue Apron. I really hate the name of that. What's the other one?
Hello Fresh.
Hello Fresh, that's stupid too. Hello Apron.
Buy
Buy both and mix the meals and have one delicious hybrid of taste. Hello Apron. And special shout out to our good friends and the Polar. Please check them out on their YouTube. Check them out. They're pretty much everywhere. They make videos all the time. If you like music, if you like video games, whatever, they got you hooked up. Holla and kill me.
As a little teaser, coming up over the Christmas holiday, I don't know when it will air, but it is going to be recorded. The infamous post-to-post versus and the Polar game-off will begin.
Yeah.
Game-ageddon.
Game-ageddon. If you don't put the M in there, you're saying it wrong and making it provocative.
Yes.
Game-ageddon. Yeah. But so yeah, the Polar versus post to post, the ATP versus the P2P. If you want to get all number and letters with it.
Yep.
Should be going down in roughly 2 weeks when the video is up. We are unsure, but we will be sure to let you know to view it. Unfortunately, Drummer John.
I won't be on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Drummer John will be unable to join us since he's clear across the fucking country.
We will probably try to find a proxy for John. We'll find a ringer, and we'll just put a name tag that says John by proxy.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I can bring.
Get Wes.
Get Wes. There we go.
Get Wes.
We could. Technically, we could.
Oh, deep cut there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it going.
Was that the soundbite or just Grayson?
No, that was Grayson.
You're welcome. I've been working on that for the past 1 second.
That was wonderful.
Fair enough.
But I was gonna say, I've got a Tina Belcher cardboard cutout. Just print a picture of John and stick it on the face.
There we go.
Oh man. No, we'll get something. We'll figure something out to have him there in spirit. But Will and myself will be there. We'll be facing off with our good friends and then the Polar.
Falcon. And Chapel.
Yep. Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Chapel was series regular guys, but this time we're not on the same team.
Dun
Oh,
dun
yeah.
dun.
So be sure to check that out whenever it airs. We'll let you know on all our social media pages that we remember to do.
And Grayson and I will be taking our tag belts.
Yes, I can. If that's what we're doing, yeah, I can bring it. I can also bring my WWE belt that was like $100.
Whatever you want to do. I'm
That
just
one
saying
sucks,
we
yeah.
actually have matching tag team belts, so yeah, it'd be fun to do it. But yeah,
I'm down with it. Whatever.
I'm down with it. I mean, yeah.
Let everyone see all the signatures in their glory.
Oh yeah, all those Bullet Club signatures on those belts.
Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful belt.
Mm-hmm.
Even got Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
But
all right, gentlemen.
with that,
Well,
we will bid you adieu. So long, good night, bang, kiss.
Peace. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you guys next week. I'm out.
All right. See
Have a
ya,
good one.
everybody.
Later.
Eh.
Bye.